is Dahal, a resident of Cincinnati, Ohio, and a former refugee from Bhutan. My story today is my immigration journey from Dorokha, Bhutan to Cincinnati, Ohio. Let me, as Nara said, let me talk something about Bhutan. Bhutan is a small country sandwiched between two big countries, India and China. I was born in a small village, Dorokha, which was 2 days on foot to the nearest town. The royal proclamation of the then king of Bhutan, one nation, one people, which was directly targeted to the Nepali-speaking southern Bhutanese, was the main reason to displace 100,000 Bhutanese to exile. I was a high school student in 1990 when the royal policy engulfed the whole tiny Himalayan kingdom. It was in midsummer 1990, a group of Nepali-speaking senior students left the hostel when the brutality and discriminatory behavior of Dzongkha-speaking students and the teachers reached the climax. I was able to escape from the school along with my friend Khagendra. We walked nearly 7 hours up the hill and down the Sukreti river to reach the nearest Indian town. We threw our school uniform, the national dress of Bhutan, on the bank of the river to escape from the arrest of Indian police. The same night, we reached Garganda, where we met our fellow mates who had run away from the school week before. I spent around 4 months there with a single t-shirt and a half pant and one-time meal a day. Sometimes tea garden and open skies were our shelter. When Indian police started arresting any Bhutanese in India, I entered Nepal and took shelter in my maternal uncle's home. I completed my high school education from one of the Nepali medium school in Nepal. My parents were tortured and badly treated by the local authority back in Bhutan, which resulted them fleeing the country. I joined them in one of the UNHCR-run refugee camp in Nepal in 1992. In the beginning, people settled in the bank of the river and spent many days making the open sky as the roof. I taught younger students in the camp for some years and went to Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal, for higher studies. I started teaching in a private school to make money for my education and to support my family in the camp. I got married to a Kathmandu origin lady, which has a long story to tell behind, and I do not have time right now. Life in the camp was too difficult to explain. Heavy rain, huge storm, and various pandemics hit the camp several times. The whole camp was engulfed by fire many times, leaving only the black concrete poles standby. A ray of hope was noticed in 2007 when the hearsay of the resettlement process circulated in the camp. Accordingly, the resettlement process began in 2008. A huge number of UNHCR and IOM vehicles started moving around the camp, which brought smiles and hope to the 100,000 refugees living in the camp. Eventually, I got resettled in Denver, Colorado in 2012, along with my 4-year-old son and wife. I am among the 9 children of my parents. We lost our father due to the lack of sufficient medical treatment in the camp, but fortunate to resettle with our mom and other siblings. After staying 2 years in Colorado, I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio. I started my job in a warehouse as a processor and picker. Later joined Catholic Charities of Southwestern Ohio, where I worked as a caseworker in the refugee resettlement program. I worked there for 4 years and ultimately joined Hamilton County Department of Job and Family Services, where I worked less than a year. I was recognized with the Best Client Service Award at Catholic Charities. I was naturalized as a US citizen in 2017, which ended my 43 years of stateless identity and refugee tag. The last election was my first presidential election to cast my valuable vote. I am proud to be a US citizen. At present, I work at Healthy Home Care LLC in the Human Resource Department. I volunteer for the Bhutanese on every social activity. I actively participated in the last election, helping people with voter registration, providing orientation about the right to vote. I also volunteer to supply necessities to the COVID-affected families, and now I am volunteering for vaccination in coordination with providers and health departments. Life for me, life is a long journey. I still do not know what comes next. Thank you.